Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video of Osahra. We have here with us, of course, the one and only $2.20.
Hello Skibitth. Hello everyone.
Okay, before we talk about anything else, let's just make an introduction of what you are going to see in today's video. I was thinking that we kinda need a, let's call it a village outskirts of El Khanem, a very old village that was done. I mean, it's like it was here for like forever. After I saw what $2.20 did in the last episode, which is absolutely awesome, man, I said, why not doing a poor village, an old poor village on these hills. This is not a mountain, this is just a tall hill maybe. So I will struggle for quite some time to do this. Thank God that movie did exist, because otherwise it's impossible to do. But I will struggle.
I tell you what, you're brave to do it on a hill. I mean, I did it on a perfectly flat ground and I struggled. I don't know how you're doing it on a mountain.
Again, thanks to many modes and thanks to only to many modes. That's the reason we can do lots of things right now. I was thinking
that's the reason why I'm still playing this game, is from mods.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, without them, without any modes and assets and so on, this game.
See you later.
Yeah, that's a good one. So that's a thing that I saw again at you, and I said, let me try replicate it as much as I can, and a little bit more denser on a hill like this, and it went out pretty nice. I mean, it would be a very big village. Again, I wanted it to be like an old one that exists here for a long time. I mean, that's what I had in my mind at the point when I started doing this.
I'm so glad you're building in this area, man, because I've really been thinking about it, and I've been putting it off, this whole mountainside, because it is sort of like the boundaries of El Khanem. I didn't really know what to put around here. Like, I've got this weird transition from like city to like big mountain, and then I don't even think about building like a town on the mountain, and this makes a lot of sense. Like, I've seen this before, like I've seen pictures. I think I've been to a couple of places that are really similar, that are, kind of built on these mountains. I'm not really sure why people do build on mountainsides. I don't think it'd be the easiest place to build a neighborhood.
Me neither. Maybe in real life they have, I mean, it makes more sense. Maybe they are close to, for example, a lake, a water, a sea or something. And it's like a fishing village for fishers, but they build on a rock side of a mountain. I don't know. I mean, these kind of things does exist. Maybe not so big, or you know what? I'm sure in Brazil there is something like this. I've seen also in movies and in some pictures and so on. So there are places like this in Brazil,
Yeah, I mean, I've seen heaps of places that are like this, that people build on mountainsides, and in terms of how people build cities these days, it's always the easiest place possible, or it's near work, it's near a religious spot, or it's next to a lake or next to the ocean to do a trade. Mountainsides, like, I just don't really know. I'm sure there's reasons. I'm sure people in the comments below are already answering our questions, but it looks good, man. I think you've really captured it really well. All these houses look so scary to live in, because I feel like they're gonna fall off the mountain or something. But I think I'd really love to actually explore this village and check it out. I think you'd find some really cool passageways and hidden cool places, I think.
Oh yeah, I think from that perspective, I will. Even though I'm a little bit scared, but I would love to visit something like this in real life, to see how it is, how things are there. But maybe I'm a little bit scared of doing this. Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah, you wouldn't want to you wouldn't want to place your foot in the wrong place, and then I think you'd tumble down the entire place.
Yeah.
I'd imagine there'd be like little like tracks or passageways in between these houses?
Yeah. There are very small, very narrow, but I didn't want to add a pathway myself. So let's just imagine that there are pathways between them, because there are some little gaps here and there, and maybe they can go from a building to another one, like a hallway. I don't know how this really works, but I guess it is, right? If it's like this in real life, I mean, makes a little bit
it does
of sense.
work.
If not, well,
And what's I'd love to know what the. I mean, I guess you've built it. I'm really excited to actually go and explore it. I feel like the view from the top of this place over El Canem must be pretty nice.
I think so too, and I haven't looked from the other side. I only looked from the bottom to see how really cool it is. Everyone will be able to see it as well on the cinematics. In the cinematics at the end of the video, there are some cool shots there, and you will see how the entire hill looks like. With all the buildings, because pretty soon I will start copying this little district here, and it will look pretty interesting. In my opinion, it was quite a build. It was quite a build here that I did, and you'll see me later doing some ruins at top of this village. So maybe let's imagine that people might have moved there since there was a little ruin castle. Well, at that point was a castle, but not ruins, and now after so many hundreds of years, the castle is just ruins and nothing else. No one stays there. Maybe there was a big mosque and or big temple or something like this there, and that's why people moved very close to these kind of areas.
Yeah, I like that idea. I'm looking forward to this castle. Is this
Yeah,
is this the castle that Lost Gecko has made for us?
Yeah, he did some cool walls for a castle, and we haven't used them for quite a while, and I think it's time for him. It's time for us to use them, and he will release them. Hopefully.
Awesome.
Yeah, hopefully today. Also, oh, by the way, for those who saw the video with my temple that I did 2 episodes ago, Beer Monkey released them somewhere this week, I think, or in the weekend, I don't remember exactly. Few days ago. So he released them few days ago. You can check the link in the description with the entire Osahra assets made by our good friends. Yeah, those are impressive, and he's pretty wow.
So impressive. Yeah, massive wow to that guy. It's like that collection is really impressive. He sent us a couple of pictures on I think it was on Discord or something. He built his own palace, and it was really interesting seeing somebody else's palace that they built, temple. I think I said this in the last episode. Hit us up if you are making your temple using those props. I think they'd look so cool in any city. I don't think I can justify them in my Down Under series or in Springwood, but I'm really keen to place them down somewhere in Osahra as well. I think they deserve to be in a couple of different locations.
Oh yeah, and there will be a good place and space on this hill. On the other, not on the other side. On the other side of the palace, you'll see it when you're gonna check it, and maybe you can go for another temple into the mountain there if you want to, as we talked last time. I saved you a place for that, to play with those beautiful assets, and cool. Even though those are assets and props actually for a temple, a very nice temple, there are quite a lot of those props that can be used in any other ways as well, not only for a temple. There are some cool walls, some cool beams, concrete beams and stuff like this.
That's true actually. Yeah, I did actually subscribe to a whole bunch of them for Springwood, just because I knew that I was going to use them anyway.
Exactly.
So I even think they'd actually make like a cool museum, like a cool Egyptian museum or something. You know, you could put some modern buildings next to it or something like that, and it would sort of kind of like how I made my luxury apartments in the last episodes with those walls. I think you can kind of make them into a modern sort of a thing as well. Yeah,
that sounds pretty cool, and it's kind of doable.
Maybe I'll do that.
Yeah, sounds cool. And Very interesting.
Man,
really.
I'm loving this staircase. I don't think I'd like to walk up it, but this is so cool. Such a cool look. Like this is this is all stuff I had no idea. Like I didn't even think about. But now that you're doing it, I was like, like of course we needed a place like this in Osahra.
Where they look a little bit steep, you know, they are steeper than they should be, I think. I'm not totally sure, but if I compare them with the other kind of staircase that there are on the workshop, they are quite steep. These are from Armesto's sea walls, and I thought to place more of them, and maybe I will do some few more, maybe off camera, to place them nearby, but I don't know. There are two case of stairways there on two sides.
Yeah, they look awesome. They look really, really good amongst the houses. You know, just to spot where people can walk up. And maybe is that a staircase leading towards the castle or something?
Yeah, they lead to the top of the village, and from there you can go to the castle. Of course, there is also a road. There is also a road, not only that, but that for sure it will lead them there.
And for people wondering, this location that Skibitth is building in, he's building, is it directly behind the palace? I think it might be somewhere like leading, like pretty much behind the palace. I mean, this is like the outskirts of Osahra. Like this is pretty much the last neighborhood from Osahra, like pretty much. It's behind the palace, is that right?
On the left or right corner, depends from where you sit, but yeah, it is right on one of the corners of the entire palace. And for a second I've been into the palace gardens, let's say, and it looks pretty awesome to see this village on the hillside. It is really cool, I swear it is.
Yeah, cool. I can't wait to check it out. Like I'm just gonna fly over it, and I don't know, I might sneak some cinematic videos or something like that in.
Yeah, well, that's what I did also when over your poor village, and I'm glad I did it. Well, I would have done it anyways, but I did it to see what you did there and how it looks like, because I've seen it only on the video. And then I noticed that I forgot to add some cool buildings, and those are the shacks made by I totally forgot about the shacks and those Japanese ones as well. And I said, oh cool, we have more to add here, and I start copying them too over the hill. Pretty cool.
Awesome. This is the castle you're building. This looks really, really, really cool.
Yeah. Here will be only ruins. I mean, don't expect something that is still there. Just some ruins of an old castle. Yeah, you guys can leave in the chat some stories about what was here or what the castle meant for. You know, I would love to see some cool stories, because usually you guys really do love leave them on the comment section. So yeah, I'm curious to see what's your ideas about this.
Yeah, some Osahrian stories would be great about this castle.
Oh yeah,
especially this village, because it's like a really interesting village, and like it's in a spot where I never would have thought to put a village, but it really makes sense now that you've built it there, and I'm really looking forward to it, man. Like just flying over it. Even the cinematics at the end of this video, like I think they're gonna look really cool.
Oh yeah. For that, guys, you have to really watch it. You know, maybe the dictator of Osahra, even though I know it's us, but let's imagine that the dictator of Osahra was, when he was a child, he was living into this village. So I don't know, it is a part of a story, an interesting story maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm kind of curious now where that path's gonna lead, and it's really cool when you build an episode, and then I build an episode, and you build one. It's really cool when I watch you build, and then I get to fly over it and figure out, you know, what's the next little part gonna be, and where all these trails that you've just drawn up are going to lead. And you know, I just want to like continue building what you just built, and yeah, it's so cool, man. I really love building this project in collaboration. I'm curious to see if anyone else is doing something like this. I know Arrowhead Junction really inspired us to do it, and I'm not really sure if anybody else is sort of doing any collaborations on this platform. Even if it's not on YouTube, I'd still highly recommend people to jump on board and just share a map with someone and just build on it every now and again. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, exactly. Totally well said. Totally agree with you. And it is really something, a very nice and amazing experience to do a collaboration with someone. I mean, yeah, it doesn't have to be on YouTube or something, but just play with a friend. It is pretty beautiful. And again, I really recommend you guys as well. Anyways, the idea of again, maybe you guys can hit us with some stories about this village and castle. There is a guy called Gamer Guy. I hope I didn't mess up with his name.
No, that's it.
Yeah, he is okay. He leaves every single time a story about Osahra and everything that's up there that we do. It is amazing, and thank you for coming up with these kind of stories. It is pretty cool.
Yeah, and it gives us ideas in the next chapter, or even what I'm gonna build next. Usually I'll watch, because I won't play this until the weekend, and I usually scroll through the comments and check out what people have been mentioning, and a lot of the comments will kind of give me ideas of what to build next, or give me some ideas of the rest of the story. And so yeah, I mean, keep them coming. They're really interesting, and the sources of inspiration for us for sure.
Hell yeah. And also, someone already sent us some pictures on Discord, and a guy called Sidai, he is building also something like Osahra. So he has a desert map. He uses these buildings, and thank you for sharing them with us. It is pretty awesome. And I really, guys, come on and share with us some of your pictures, even though if they are not from Osahra, come and just share them with us. You can find our Discord channels at the description of this video, both of them. You have to check them out and come and share with us some love and some nice builds that you guys do there.
Yeah, absolutely. And also even on Twitter and Instagram as well, we're pretty active on those platforms as well. There's so many platforms for this game.
Yeah.
It's no longer just a total YouTube, or you build your city by yourself in your house, in your corner of the room. It's totally like a sharing thing, which makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense to share these builds, because they are always so unique, and I love checking them out.
Definitely, man. Definitely, indeed. Well, almost 1 minute and a half until the cinematics will hit us. Anything else to say to to these beautiful faces that are watching us?
Nah, man, it's really impressive build. I've really loved watching it. I've got some ideas. I think I'm gonna stick within the city next episode and really flesh out that city, because I want to get some great panoramic shots from your village you just built up on that mountain. But man, thumbs up, giving 2 thumbs up from Australia, from over here.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to see the new districts built there in Elkanem, to see the city becoming a really capital in for Osahra here. And I really do think so. It's episode number 25, and I'm curious to see how many of them will be. We'll keep doing, and I think we have a long way ahead. Anyways, guys, everyone, so if you did enjoy this episode, of course, as always, hit the like button, leave some beautiful comments there. Next week, as Tudor said, he will record the next episode, which will be, of course, on his channel. And if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe to our channels to keep up with Osahra, and not only with Osahra, with other City Skylines series. And guys, wish you all the best, and see you next time.
See you later.